Good morning, students. Welcome back to teleeducation classes. How are you all? I hope you all are doing good. I am also doing fine. And I have come with a new session today. You can see on your screen that what is our topic today. So poetry comprehension. So this is our topic and we are going to learn this topic, and this topic is very important because you have started doing this topic from now, but you will have to do this topic for for your whole life, because this topic is very important. So let's see what we have today and what are we going to learn in this topic. Let's move with the session now. So we are going to read a passage, okay? We are going to read a story. Let's read this whole story now. So we can see the first paragraph here, what it is written here. Said the duck, as I sat on the rocks, I have thought over that completely, and I bought 4 pairs of worsted socks which fit my web feet neatly. Very good. Now let's see what we have next. And to keep out the cold, I have bought a clock, and every day a cigar I will smoke, all to follow my own dear true love of a kangaroo. Very nice. Now let's see. Said the kangaroo, I am ready, all in the moonlight pale, but to balance me well, dear duck, sit steady, and quite at the end of my tail. So away they went with a hop and a bound, and they hopped the whole world 3 times round. And who so happy? Oh, who? As the duck and the kangaroo. Okay, such a nice passage. So here you can see there are two characters. One is a duck and one is a kangaroo. So the first 2 paragraphs are being spoken by the duck, and the second 2 paragraphs are being spoken by the kangaroo. Now let's see. Okay, so we have some points. They are saying, read the given poem and identify the narrators and characters in the poem. Yeah, we have done that already. I have already told you, right? There are 2 characters. Who are the characters? The duck and the kangaroo. So after reading the passage properly, first what you need to do is you have to find the narrator or the character of the passage. So we have already found the characters, the duck and the kangaroo. Now let's see. Narrators and the characters. Yes, we are done with that point. Now what are they saying? What is the next thing we need to do? So here is the duck, and let's see, where is our kangaroo? Okay, so we got a kangaroo too. So you can see the duck and the kangaroo, they are the narrators, they are the characters of the passage. Now what next we need to do is get an image of the setting of the poem. Okay, so then after finding the characters or the narrators of the passage, what we need to do is we have to see the setting. We have to find the setting. Now what is the setting? Setting means the whole scenario, the whole situation. Where is this the situation is taking place, like mean the place. Okay, so where is the place where they are having this conversation, or where they're thinking all these thoughts. So if we have to find the place. Now let's see, where is the place? Where does a duck live? Let's see, where does he live? So he lives in near a pond. So we can see the pond, right? So duck lives near a pond. Now we have to see, where does this kangaroo live? Where do we find kangaroos? Let's see, where do we find kangaroos? Which place is this? This is Australia. So our setting is the duck lives near the pond and kangaroo lives, we find kangaroo in Australia. So this is our setting. Very nice. So number 2, setting of the poem. So we got the settings right, near a pond and Australia. Very nice. Now number 3, what do we need to do next? Read the poem second time carefully to understand the summary. So we have to read the poem again so that we can understand it properly and to get a summary. So we can, if you are reading it properly once more, then you will get to know it more better and it will be more clearer to you. So we need to read the summary second time. Okay. Now what is the next thing? See, you can see the duck here, right? This duck is walking and he lives near the pond. So this is a pond and he lives near the pond. And what is he saying? Said the duck, as I sat on the rocks. Yes, we can see, right? The duck is sitting on the rocks. I have thought over that completely. What was he thinking? Let's see. Said the duck, as I sat on the rocks, I have thought over that completely, and I bought 4 pairs of worsted socks. So he was thinking that though he sits on the rock, so for his comfortness, he has to bring 4 pairs of worsted socks. So can you see the socks here? Yes. Now he bought 4 pairs. Let's see if he is wearing or not. Now, which fit my weft fit neatly. Okay, so he has to he has to buy 3 pair of socks which fits him nicely, which fits his fit nicely. Let's see if it fits him it or not. Okay, so can you see that his feet turned green because now he is wearing socks. Very nice. Now let's see what is happening next. So we can see the same duck, right? And the duck is saying, and to keep out the cold, I have bought a clock. So this duck is feeling very cold. So what did he do? He has bought a clock. Can you see the clock here? He is wearing it now because he is feeling cold. He needs a clock to protect himself from this cold and to keep himself warm. An everyday cigar I will smoke. Let's see if he is smoking the cigar or not. Yes, now we got the cigar also. Can you see the cigar? Yes, now he is smoking a cigar. And let's see what he is doing next. All to follow my own dear true. Let's see whom is he following. Okay, we can see the kangaroo already. So he's saying, all to follow my own dear true love of a kangaroo. So he is saying after smoking the cigar, he will follow the kangaroo because he loves kangaroo. Said the kangaroo. Now what is kangaroo saying? Let's see. Okay. Said the kangaroo, I am ready. All in the moonlight pale. So that's a night, right? We can see this scenario. This is a night full of stars. So they are having this whole thing in a moonlight pale. But to balance me well, dear duck, sit steady. So the kangaroo is saying to the duck that if you want me to balance well, you have to sit steadily. Okay? And quite at the end of my tail. So you have to sit steadily and you have to be, quite at the end of my tail because the duck is sitting at his end. Can you see the duck is sitting at the end of the tail? Yes, very nice. Now let's see what is happening next. So we can see the kangaroo, right? We can see the duck also. What are they doing? Let's see. So away they went with a hop and a bound. Okay, so they were jumping and roaming and hopping. Now we can see a whole, our whole earth, the whole world. So away they went with a hop and a bound. So they were hopping and they were jumping and they hopped the whole world 3 times round. So they have hopped, they have roamed or they have covered the whole world 3 times by just hopping and bounding. Correct? See, can you see that they are jumping and they are covering the whole world 3 times? Can you see them? They are taking rounds and rounds. They are, moving around the world 3 times already and they are enjoying it, right? Now, who's so happy? Oh, who? Let's see who is happy. As the duck and the kangaroo. So I think they both are happy because they are, enjoying their whole ride. They're moving. They're covering the whole world already 3 times. Now we have our first question. Where was the duck sitting? Okay, so do you remember the scenario? Where was the duck sitting? Where he bought that socks? He was talking about his socks. He was talking that he was feeling cold, so he bought a clock. Then he told that he will smoke a cigar and he will follow the love of his life, that is kangaroo, right? So you have to remember this whole scenario, which will help you to answer this question. So your question is, where was the duck sitting? You have 4 options: on the rocks, on the sand, on the branch, on the ground. So your time starts now. You have 30 seconds to answer this question. It's very easy. Just try to remember the scenario where the duck was sitting and he was talking about, his fit when he was feeling cold. He thought of buying socks. Then he was thinking to, bring a clock or buy a clock because he was feeling cold. And then he was talking about cigar, that he will smoke a cigar. Then he will follow the love of his life, that is kangaroo. So it's very easy. I can see some people answering questions. Very good, students. Your last 1 second. Okay, so yeah, our correct answer is on the rocks. Very good, students who have gone for option number A and who have not gone for who have gone for other options. No worries students, we have just started the session, you will get to know it better. Very good students. Now we will move with the session. Let's see what we have. So we have the whole paragraph again. So right now I'm not reading it again. They are saying what to do after finding the narrator, after finding the setting, after finding the after we have find the narrator, we have find the settings, and then we have find what are they doing in that we have to read the passage again so that we'll understand the passage properly. After doing all these three steps, what is the next step we have to do? So that is keywords. Okay, so we have to find the keywords in this passage. What are the keywords? Worsted socks, right? So the keywords are we need to buy worsted socks, correct? That is made of wool. Worsted means made of wool. Now clock. What is a clock? You saw it in the picture, right? The duck was wearing something to protect himself from cold. So this is a clock, okay? A sleeveless overgarment. Okay, so this is a clock, this is a garment which we which we can wear to protect ourselves from winter. This is sleeveless and it's an overgarment. So you are wearing it above every other clothing item. Okay, now and next we have to find is rhyming words. So there are so many rhyming words in this whole poem, so we have to find all the rhyming words. Let's see what all we have. Rocks, socks, completely, neatly, ready, steady, pale, tail. Let's see what we have. Clock, smoke, true, kangaroo, bound, round, then who, kangaroo. So these are all rhyming words we can see in the whole passage. Can you see they are highlighted? Rocks, socks, completely, neatly, clock, smoke, true, kangaroo, ready, steady, pale, tail, bound, round, who, kangaroo, who, kangaroo. Correct? Now let's see what we need to do after finding the keywords and rhyming words. So now what we need to do is we have to identify the theme. Like what is the theme of this passage? Okay, so we have to understand the theme. Then we have to find out the figure of speech used here. Then we have to prepare a brief summary. So now you have to understand the theme of this whole passage. Then you have to understand the figure of speech used here, and then you have to prepare a brief summary. Correct? Now, theme of the poem. What is the theme of the poem? It is friendship. Yes, it is the friendship. They are talking about the friendship between a duck and a kangaroo. Then the love for adventure. They love to have adventure. That's why they are hopping and they're jumping and they're roaming and traveling the whole world. That too, they have covered the whole world 3 times. So they love adventure. Correct? So that's the theme. Now we have to talk about the figures of speech. What are the figures of speech used here? Duck and kangaroo were given human qualities. Yes. Here we have, in order to explain or in order to identify duck and kangaroo, we have given them some human qualities. Whenever we give some human qualities, what we call it? We call it personification. So giving something, giving something who is not a human or who is just a thing, and we are giving qualities to them like just like humans, just to in order to explain them, in order to describe them. That means we are using personification. So this is one of the figure of speech we are using here. What is the next figure of speech? But to balance dear duck whole world. Okay, so this is one of the statements we have seen in the whole passage. What is the figure of speech here? Let's see. Repetition of the consonant sounds at the start. Okay, so can you see there are some repetition of consonant sounds? That means, can you see? But to balance, dear duck whole world. But to balance, but B, balance B, dear duck D, dear starts with D, then duck starts with D, then whole world, whole starts with W, then world starts with W. So in this whole sentence we can see the words are starting with similar consonants. So whenever you see this kind of statement in a passage or wherever you see, you have to understand this whole statement. In this whole statement we are using alliteration. This is one of the figure of speeches. So we have two figure of speech used here. One is personification, because we have given human qualities to duck and the kangaroo, and then the next figure of speech used here is alliteration, because we can see repetition of the consonant sounds at the start, but to balance deer, duck, whole world. Correct? Very good. Now we know what is the figure of speech we have used here. Now we have to think about a brief summary of the whole passage. So what is the brief summary here? The duck thought over kangaroo's discomfort and wore woolen socks to make her webbed feet soft. Okay, so the duck was thinking about kangaroo's discomfort. That's why he wore that woolen socks to make himself make the kangaroo comfortable, because he has webbed feet. Okay, so to make that webbed feet softer, he has to wear that woolen socks. She got a clock and will smoke a cigar to keep away from the cold. She is ready to follow the kangaroo with love. Very good. So this is the whole brief summary. Okay, we have left with something. We have read the part of duck. Now we are going to read the part of the kangaroo. The kangaroo is ready to in that night. She asks the duck to sit steady at the end of the tail to balance well. They both hopped the whole world 3 times. With joy, nobody is happier than this too. So this is the part of kangaroo where what kangaroo was saying to the duck to make, the kangaroo said that you have to sit steady at the end of my tail so that I can balance well, and they were very happy to hoping the whole world together, and there was none who was happier than them. They were the happiest. Okay, so this is the brief summary we have got from both of their both the characters, correct, the duck and the kangaroo. So now we have come with a new question. Let's see what we have. Which among the following is an example of alliteration? Okay, so you have 4 options here. Which among the following is an example of alliteration? You have to read them and you have to tell me which is in which option we can see alliteration. Okay, the options are sit, jump, sit, climb, sit steady, stand up. So you remember, right, what does alliteration means? Alliteration means when you can see two consonants, similar consonants are used or are used together simultaneously or correspondingly. So that means that figure of speech we call it alliteration. So you have to see which option will fall under alliteration. Sit, jump, sit, climb, sit steady, stand up. So your time starts now. I am starting the timer. Your timer has started already. Just see the 2 words. Okay, there are 2 words, right, in all of the options. You have to see that the 2 words should be should start with the same consonant. Okay, so it's very easy, right? I have given the clue, so it's very easy for you to answer. Please choose the correct answer. I can see some students answering. I am again and again telling you, you have to see both the words should start with the same consonant. Okay, so I can see some of the students have answered the correct answer, that is C, sit steady, but most of the students have gone for option A and some have gone for D. I don't know why, but I told you, right, alliteration, what does that mean? Alliteration means when you see 2 words starting with the same consonants. Just tell me, do you see sit, jump? Do you see jump is starting with S? No, right? So their consonants are different, but in option number C you can see that sit is also starting with S and steady is also starting with S. That means both of the words have the similar consonant and they are starting with the same consonant. So this is the condition under alliteration. So that's why sit steady is our correct answer. Okay, I hope you're getting my point. Very good, student. Now we are going forward with the session. Let's see what we have. Now they are saying this is the last point, this is the last step you need to follow while doing poetry comprehension. Read the questions and answer. So I am going to give you some question from the passage of the duck and the kangaroo, and you need to answer. I will be giving you 4 options. You will be getting some time. So I don't think you will need some time because that's very easy. You will just see the options and you will understand which is the correct option for this question. So you read the whole passage, right? And it is very clear to you what is the passage and what are they trying to say, what are the characters are trying to say, right? So the duck thought over A, the kangaroo's discomfort, the journey, how to balance itself, the duration of the journey. So what was the duck thinking when he thought that he will buy a woolen socks? What do you say? Obviously the kangaroo's discomfort, right? He knew that he has webbed feet which are very, hard or pointy, so he doesn't want to make kangaroo this uncomfortable. So just make his foot fit softer, he has to wear that woolen socks, okay, to make so that the kangaroo feels soft and he feels comfortable. So he was thinking about the kangaroo's discomfort. Very nice. What is our next question? The option number A is our correct answer. Our next question is the word cloak can be replaced with. So you remember, right, the duck was wearing something, right? When he felt cold, he was wearing something, a sleeveless garment to protect himself from the cold. So how can you replace this word? So you have to find the same meaning of clock with you have to find which will be the suitable substitute, you will say suitable substitute of cloak. So you have four options: shawl, blanket, and anorak, bedsheet. So what do you think? Yes, so blanket is the correct option, B. So we can use blanket in place of cloak if we feel cold. Very nice. Now the next question. The kangaroo wants to take the duck out for a journey in the. So kangaroo was ready for the journey and he was ready to take this journey with the duck. But what is the time? What was the time? Morning, afternoon, evening, night. Tell me, what was the time? Night, right? Moonlight pale. Do you remember moonlight pale? So that means the time was night. Option number D is our correct answer. The duck and the kangaroo. Morning, afternoon, evening, night. Tell me, which is the correct answer? Yes, the duck and the kangaroo was hopping and moving. They were having these thoughts and they were talking to each other in the evening because they were preparing themselves for their ride. Correct? Now that's why the option is evening. Very good. Who was it that could not hope? So tell me, who was it that could not hope? Hope means jump and roam. So now tell me, you have two options, kangaroo and duck. You have to tell me who cannot jump. So let's see what are the options: the duck, the kangaroo, the frog, and all of the above. Obviously the duck, right? Kangaroo can jump and cover the whole area. He can jump and roam, but the duck cannot jump, right? So here our correct answer is duck. Very good, students. Now what is the next question? The duck bought the socks. So you remember, right, that the duck bought the socks for his webbed feet, but why did he bought it? Let's see the reasons here. To comfort himself, to make the feet fashionable, to protect the wool, to cause no trouble to the kangaroo. Which is the correct answer? To comfort itself. Yeah, it was for his comfortable also, which was for his comfortness, and it was for the kangaroo also because he thought that kangaroo will feel uncomfortable as he has pointy fits or webbed fits. Correct? Now what is the next question? It's very easy. This is the question we have solved just now, right? So I am guessing that you will be able to answer this question. So sit steady. You see these two words. You have to tell me what figure of speech has been used here. Identify the figure of speech: personification, metaphor, alliteration, simile. So which one do you think? Obviously alliteration, right? We were talking about alliteration where you can see two words starting with the same consonant. Sit steady. Sit is a word, steady is a word. They both are starting with S. That's why we are going for alliteration. Very good, students. Identify the theme of the poem. So you have read the whole poem, right? You know what is the theme of it. So your options: adventure, anger, alliteration, agony. So what do you think? Which is the theme? Obviously adventure. They were preparing themselves for a ride. They want to travel the whole world and they have already traveled the whole world and covered the whole world thrice. The word neatly means as same as. Okay, so we have seen that the word neatly has been used in the passage. Now tell me what substitute, what is the substitute, what is the another word you can use in place of neatly. So you have four options: well, trimly, badly, beautifully. So which one do you think? Yes, trimly. Very good, students. Our correct answer is trimly. Now let's see what is our next question. It was a pale moonlight when. The kangaroo agreed, the kangaroo refused, they both were prepared for a ride, they both quarreled with each other. Which one is the correct answer? They both prepared for a ride. So in the moonlight pale, they were preparing themselves for a ride. Correct. The duck was saying why was he thinking to buy socks, why was he wearing that clock, and why was he smoking a cigar. And when the kangaroo was saying like what did he say to the duck, to sit on the end of his tail, to sit steadily so that he can balance well. So this everything happened when they were preparing themselves for the ride. Very good. So this passage is, I think, very clear to you, and we are learning poetry comprehension, and we have completed one passage already. Now let's see what passage we have. Okay, before moving to the next passage, let's recall all the steps which we need to you know keep in mind while doing poetry passage. So steps to be followed are: read the given poem and identify the narrator characters in the poem. So whenever you read a passage or a poem, first what you need to do is you have to find the or identify the characters and narrators of that poem. Then you have to get an image of the setting of the poem. You have to understand in what place this whole situation has taken place. So you have to find the setting. So in our story we know that the setting was near a pond or in Australia, right? Read the poem second time carefully to understand the summary. So you have to read the poem again so that you can understand the summary, and now you can understand the story more properly. Understand the keywords like rhyming words and identify the mood of the poem. So you have to find some keywords of this whole passage, then you have to see the rhyming words, which words are rhyming to each other. Then you have to find the mood and theme of the poem. Then you have to know the mood is like what is the mood of the poem, how are they happy or all of that thing. Then you have to find the theme. You have to understand the theme, what is the theme behind this passage or poem. Then you have to ascertain the figures of speech, and then you have to frame a brief summary of both the narrators, or whatever, how many narrators you have in your passage. So this time we have two narrators, that's why we are preparing two summaries according to their according to them, like one summary from the side of the duck and one summary from the side of the kangaroo. Then lastly what we need to do is we will be given some questions related to the passage, and we have to answer those questions carefully. So we have followed all this step. Whenever we will follow all this step while solving a poetry comprehension, it will make us more easier to answer this question very easily, because you know all the things about this passage now, because you know the narrator, you know the setting, you know the keywords, you know the rhyming words, you know the mood, you know the theme, you know the figure of speech used here. So we will be knowing everything, right? So it will help you to answer this question related to the passage. Very good. Now let's move with a question. What question we have? Let's see. Who will the duck follow? That's very easy, right? We have read the whole poem. There were two characters, and duck was following someone, right? So who is the which animal the duck was following? You have four options: kangaroo, monkey, tiger, zebra. So your time starts now. I'm not explaining it anymore because that's very easy. You know the whole story. You know there were two characters. Who were the two characters? Duck and the obviously, and the duck was following the other character, right? So tell me, you have, okay, I can see so many students have gone gone for the correct option. So last 10 seconds, students. If someone has not answered any question, any option, or not chosen any option, you can go for it. Last 2 seconds, students. Okay, very good, students. I'm so happy that you have chosen kangaroo. Yeah, that's the correct answer. Very good. Now let's move with the session. So we are now moving to one more example, one more passage. So we are going to read one more passage. Let's see what passage we have. Okay, so that's a long passage. Let's read the passage together. The golden bird of Asia with the crown of Himalayas, her feet washed by the Arabian, is my country India. A land of philosophy and sacred lore, the Vedic seers and Vedic core, a play of holy pilgrimage, is my country India. Since ages her holy lands have held sages and saints alike, birthplace of a pure language, is my country India. The mighty river Gangas flows through her varied lands, a unity in diversity, is my country India. Religion of every color, flower on her breast, and are watered with tolerance, is my country India. When her freedom faces dangers, her children unites as one, a land of the origin of zero, is my country India. Okay, very nice passage. So this passage, what do you think? What are we talking here? Obviously we are talking about India, right? The beauty of India, like what do we find in India. So we are talking about the golden bird of Asia, right? Then then next we are talking about, so this is the passage, the name of the passage in my country India. Then we are talking about the philosophy, sacred soul, Vedic shears, Vedic core, holy pilgrimage places. Okay, and in the third paragraph we are talking about holy lands, we are talking about sages and saints, and we are talking about that India is a birthplace of a pure language. Which language, tell me? I hope you all know that Sanskrit. Okay, so Sanskrit has taken birth in India. Now we are talking about Ganga, how Ganga is flowing everywhere through various lands. So unity of diversity. Then we are talking about religions, different religions, correct? And then we are talking about freedom faces dangers. Whenever we face dangers, who protect us? The children unite as one. That means Indians, right? Whoever is working for the country, like the army, the military services, they fight for us, they protect us in dangers. So they are talking about the beauty of India and different aspects of India. And who is the narrator here? Tahira Manan. Okay, so she wrote this sentence, she wrote this poem. So first reading, what do we need to do is, what is our first thing to do here? We know the steps, right? First what we need to do is, identify the character and narrator, then identify the setting and theme. Second reading, then what we need to do is we identify the keywords. Very good. Then we will identify the rhyming words, then we'll identify the mood, then identify the figures of speech. Correct? Now let's see who is the narrator or the characters of this poem. So you can see, right, easily who narrated this poem. The narrator is Tahira Manan. Very good. Now let's see what is the setting here. Identify the setting and the theme. So what is the setting here? Let's see. The setting is beautiful India. So we are talking about India. So these things are happening in India. That these things are of India. So setting is the beautiful India. What is the theme here? The theme is greatness of India. How India is great. We are talking about the greatness of India. So that is our theme. Very good. Now what we need to do is we need to find the keywords. Now let's see what are the keywords we have here. So let's see keywords. Lore. Correct. Then lore, what do you mean by lore? Traditional stories and knowledge. I want you to copy it down because these are some new words you are going to learn, and you can use these words in your day-to-day life now, because now you know the meaning of all these words, right? So lore, traditional stories or knowledge. Share, what does that mean? Let's see. A person with great insight, whoever is very very thoughtful, or very knows so many things. So the person who is very knowledgeable, he is known as Share. And then pilgrimage. What is pilgrimage? A journey to a holy place. Whenever you are going for tirth yatra, people say, right, I am going for a tirth yatra. So they are going to all the whole holy places. That means they are going for pilgrimage. Correct? Then we have to find the rhyming words. Let's see what rhyming words we have in this poem. Lore, core, Ganges, lands, then 1 0. Now we have to find the mood of the poem. Let's see what is the mood here. Pride, obviously we are proud of our country. Love. Then identify the figure of speech. So we are going to find the figure of speech here. Which figure of speech used here? Personification. What is personification? We have learned that, right? Attributing human qualities to a thing. So here we are giving human qualities to India to describe it properly. So we are personifying India. So what figure of speech we are using here? That is personification. Very good. Correct. Now you can see the golden bird of India, right? The golden bird of Asia with the crown of Himalayas, right? What are they saying next? Her feet washed by the Arabian. Then Arabian means Arabian Sea is my country India. So this is the first paragraph. What is the next paragraph? Let's see. So we can see the map of India. We are now talking about philosophy. A land of philosophy and sacred lore. Sacred role, what that means? Epics, Puranas, stories, all of that. Okay, so you can see Mahabharata, Lord Shiva stories. So we know all these stories, right? Now what we are talking about, we are talking about land of philosophy and sacred lore, the Vedic shears and the Vedic core, right? Vedic shears, people with great insight of Vedas, who have the people who know, who have a great knowledge of Vedas. So we know, see, you can see some people who have great knowledge of Vedas, right? Now Vedic core, the four Vedas and Upanishads. So we are going to see the four Vedas, Rig Veda, Samaveda, Yajur Veda, Atharva Veda, right? Now we'll see land of philosophy and sacred love, the Vedic shears and the Vedic core, a place of holy pilgrimage. So we will be seeing so many holy places of India. You can see these pictures, right? Different parts of India have different holy places. You might have traveled to some of the places already, I guess. So you can see these places. These are some holy places of India. There are many more, but these are some major holy places of India. Okay, so you can see all the pictures here, which these are the holy places of India. So whenever someone is traveling to visit these places, their journey is known as pilgrimage. As land of philosophy and sacred lore, the Vedic fears and the Vedic core, a place of holy pilgrimage. So they are saying India is a place of holy pilgrimage. Very nice. You can see saints and sages, then we can see holy places. So this is our India is filled with philosophy and holy places. Now what are they saying? Have held sages and saints. Let's see what sages they have. See, there are some people who have, great knowledge about philosophy and Vedas, and there are some religions. Okay, there are some saints, sadhus, right, of different religion. You can see Christian, Islam, and Sikh. Now we are saying that we have, given birth to a language. Which language is that? Sanskrit. Okay, so Sanskrit has taken birth. It has the origin. It is the origin of many languages, and this Sanskrit language is born in India. Now you can see the Sanskrit is born in India. Now you can see how Ganga is, traveling to various parts of India, and how is it flowing, right? Now they are talking about Gangas. The mighty Ganga river flows through different landforms in India. You can see that Ganga flowed, they covered so many parts of India, right? Now they are talking about Gangas, right? And you can see how diversified is our country. You can see different kinds of animals, different kinds of religions, so many holy places, so many saints and sages are present in India. So they are talking about diversified India. Now what is the next thing? They are talking the religion of every color. So we have so many religions in our country, like we have Hindu religion, you have Christian religion, Muslim, Islam religion, Sikh, so many other religions are there. We have different kinds of flowers. They're saying the flowers on the breast of the country. That means we are putting flower on the breast of the country. We are proud of our country, right? Because our country is so diversified, and they are watered with tolerance. So people are tolerating each other because they love each other. That's why they are tolerating each other and protecting each other. Correct? Different people of different religion. Then whenever our freedom faces danger, right, there are some wars happening. So whenever there is a war, who helps us? The children of India. The children we unite as one. You can see, right, you can see militaries, we can see armies who are protecting our country. You can see the whole India is covered with armies. They are protecting us from the enemies, right? So this is how the children of India are uniting as one. The land of the origin, zero. Why zero? Because zero is, zero is founded by Aryabhat, and Aryabhat is from India. So that's why they are saying the land of the origin of zero, that is our India. Correct? Very nice. So now we are heading towards a question. What question we have? Let's see. What does the expression unity in diversity means? So what do you think? Unity in what does this mean? Unity in diversity. We are diversified. We have different religions and different people in our country. But still we have that unity. What does that mean? Harmony and division, harmony and unity, uniformity and fragmentation, none of this. So you can try answering this question. This is little bit tough. I am just saying the meaning. Your time has started already. They are saying unity in diversity. You are diversified. You are belonging from different background, but you are still united. You are protecting each other. What does that mean? What do you think? Okay, I can see. Oh my God, I was not expecting you to answer it correctly, but I can see all of them. You have Till now all of them have answered the correct answer. I'm so proud of you students. Let's see. Okay, so we are done with the timer. I'm so happy you have gone for the option B, harmony and unity. Very good. This is the correct answer. Now they are again showing you the whole paragraph what we have read, and now they are saying we have to answer some question. What is described in the poem? India's greatness, right? We are talking about India's greatness. Now what is who is the golden bird according to the poem? So obviously Indian golden bird, right? Now next question, the word children refers to Indians, right? Indians are the children referred here. Now we are moving to the last question of this session. So you have the question. I am starting the timer. I will read it with the timer. You can also read it with me. It's very easy. Rinky's winter vacation is starting from next week. This year Rinky wants to travel abroad, so she looks up on the internet at traveling different destinations. After looking through a lot of options, she decides to on Singapore. Based on her budget, she then searches for hotels to stay at. She also looks up at different tourist spots that she plans to visit. Finally, after careful planning, she looks her ticket and is ready for the trip. What quality did Rinky displays during the whole planning process? Okay, so she was, Rinky was trying to take a trip and she was thinking, she was taking, looking so many destinations, and I can see you have gone for the option. So yeah, actually the action is rational thought, because she has, thought so many things before taking this trip, and the thought she is using here is rational thought. Very good students. Now what you need to do is you have to give me the feedback. How do you feel? Happy, quite good, satisfactory or confused? So you have your 30 seconds now. Please choose the correct answer. How do you feel? Did you understand the whole topic today? If you have any query, you can let me know. I will take that on our next session, and I will come with a new topic in our next session. It was really nice seeing you all. Very good. Okay, I can see some of the people are confused. Don't worry, students. I will take it to the next station. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Take care. I will see you on our next class.